Good morning, neighbors. I missed Stampin' Sunday yesterday. I was just struggling with some things and I couldn't quite make it. So I thought that this morning I would come on here and we could do coffee and a card. I have my paper pumpkin kit that came in August that I haven't finished yet. And I thought we could make one of these cards. They'll be great cards to send out, and I need some cards to send out. So I thought that we could meet here together, and I have my coffee this morning. I have a little, it's not Tim Hortons coffee, but it's just a Tim Hortons mug. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started. We'll make a card together. I'm not sure which one yet. I'll take everything out of the packet and we'll see where we go from there. I hope you guys can hear me good today. I'm outside on the patio. I'm not in my regular corner. So in case I didn't already say it, which I don't think I did, I'm Alicia Dolan with Crafting in My Corner. I'm glad you could join me today. Let me turn the camera around. And since I'm working outside, I'm in a little different space than I normally would be. Hopefully, I can hear a neighbor mowing and there's a little bit of a breeze blowing, so hopefully this works out. I'm not sure that it will. All right, so I have my Stamparatus out because it helps me to get my stamps in the right place. And now, of course, the breeze is blowing a little extra. But here is the directions for the paper pumpkin kit for August. Now, if you were to order one now, you would get, let's see, I've already got September and I haven't finished that one yet. But you'd get, I think, the October kit, but I'm not 100% sure. So I will look that up and I'll put it in the description later in case you are interested in that. And I'll also put this video on YouTube. This isn't one of my regular videos because we're just going to make one card, but then I'll do a video with each of the paper pumpkin projects later. They're all cards this time, I think. I forgot to bring a stamp case up with me, and I usually do that so that I have something underneath this side. But let me try and use this little box. I think that'll work for today. All right, so let me look at the instructions again because I haven't even opened it up yet to see what I want to work on. And I think we'll just try and make the first card. Let's see. Which would be this one here. And it says, always hope because you never know what tomorrow will bring. I think that's a good one for today. All right, so I'm gonna put my instructions over here to the side so that hopefully they won't blow away. And here's my stamp set. Now this comes with Stampin' Dimensionals and these mini glue dots and some really pretty sequins. I really like the color of these little sequins that came in this kit. It also has a Blackberry Bliss Stampin' Spot and some really pretty Blackberry Bliss ribbon. Let me see if I can open that up real quick and show you. I don't know if you guys can see in the sunshine or not, but it's really pretty. Okay. And it's kind of light. I don't know if it would be like linen or not, but it's really soft too. All right. Here are our envelopes. So the kit comes with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 envelopes. And I'm just going to set those aside for now because they're not what I need. I'm just looking for, right now, the pieces that I need to complete that first card. Let's see, I know, it looks like I am going to need those and one of these. The nice thing about these kits is all the pieces are already cut out for you. And then whatever you don't use, you can use on a different project. You can use the stamps later. I have a whole bunch of these tiny Stampin' Spots saved up that I can use for different projects. I'm gonna need a couple little butterflies. And let's see, here's a pink card base. It doesn't look like that's the right one for this. Here's some more really pretty die cuts. And you could take the time and do all of these on your own, stamp and die cut them. Maybe not this exact pattern. Let's see. It's a beautiful day outside today, and so I thought I would work outside for a bit, especially because the paper pumpkin kits have everything you need in them. So I thought it'd be nice to just get outside, make a card, drink my coffee, enjoy a little sunshine, and my new puppy's out here with me, just hopefully being good. I gave her a little something to chew on, and hoping that will be enough. All right, so we need this mint colored card base. We need our next layer, which will be this one that we're going to stamp on. And then we need to punch out a hope that we're going to use. I'm just going to set it up here in the corner. And a tomorrow. And a lot of these paper pumpkin kits do come in several different languages. So if you, whoops, there was a bug there. So if you're looking for different words, then they're in there too. I don't know if the stamps come in other languages for sure or not. I can check on that though, if that's something anyone's interested in. All right, I'm gonna punch out 2 of these little butterflies. And now you wouldn't have to follow the directions if you wanted to do something a little different or arrange it differently, then that's fine too. But for me this morning, because of my frame of mind right now, I'm just going to follow the directions. And then later, when I have my thoughts are a little more clear, I'm hoping that I will get some other things done. And I want my pink to be at the top. Now if you order a paper pumpkin kit, the first one will come with a block similar to this. Not this exact block, it'll be a little bit thinner than this so that it's lighter as well. So you don't need to have a Stamparatus to do this. Your first paper pumpkin kit will come with a block. It comes with everything you need. Now the following kits won't come with a block unless I think you probably cancel your subscription and then renew it later. All right, we're going to center our words here. And I kind of want mine to go straight. What I like about the Stamparatus is you can use the grid lines underneath to measure, and then there's also grid lines on the plate. So you can tell, as long as you lined your paper up straight, which I don't know if I have or not, but I'm going to scoop my magnet a little bit closer to my stamp, because I find that as long as my magnet is close to my stamp's not as likely to pull up my paper when I open it back up. Alright, I'm going to open my Blackberry Bliss ink, and what I like to do is take my snips and very carefully run them along the line between the lid and the bottom of the case, and that way when I open it up, if I did it right, it kind of works like a little clamshell. So I like to leave the back on there just so that it holds together a little better. You don't have to do that, but, and again, this one is Blackberry Bliss. So I'm just gonna ink up. You know what, I should probably look and make sure you guys can see the whole, okay, you can. I'm gonna ink up my stamp. Just by tapping all over with my little ink pad. And then I'm going to close that ink up. I'm going to close my plate and press in the center. And then when I open it up, I'll have my image. Now, if you didn't want it to be if you want it to be darker and a little more bold, you can always ink up your stamp again and close it. But I am not going to do that this time. And because I left my cleaning chamois down in my corner, I'm just gonna pull this plate off and set it to the side until I get a chance to clean it. That way I'm not getting ink all over the place. Okay, so here is this image all stamped. And that's actually the only stamping we have to do to put this card together. So here's our card base, and it's already creased along the middle. So I can fold it in half, take my bone folder and just run it along that edge, as long as I move the magnet out of the way. Now this is my next layer. And it's gonna go just like this. So I can take these little glue dots, usually is what you would use to glue this together, but because I have my liquid glue here, and I prefer that for just this part, I'm not actually going to glue it on there. I'm going to put my glue on the image we stamped, and I'm going to glue it to here, and then I'm going to use my dimensionals to raise it up just a little bit. And I just made that decision. That's a little different than what the instructions say. The instructions say to put your dimensionals on the back of this layer and then put it on here. But I kind of like it the other way around. So I'm just going to center it on there and glue them together. in my little tin. I'm going to turn it over, get my Stampin' Dimensionals. Now this is from my last paper pumpkin kit, so I still have some left from before, and I'm going to use those up before I start the new pack. I find that the amount of supplies in the paper pumpkin kit is pretty generous. So I end up with quite a few leftover sentiments, and I must have let a little boo sneak out of there. Sentiments and die cuts and adhesives. I always have adhesives left. And there's definitely more than enough ink. And if you needed more, you can get refills of the ink. It comes in a little bottle, and you could just use these little Stampin' Spots for a really long time. So there is that part of our card, and then we're going to add our words over top of the words that are already there. So I turn them both over, and I grab those Stampin' Dimensionals again. I'm just going to use one on this one because it's fairly small. And I'll put two on this one. Now if you order the paper pumpkin kits, if you subscribe to the paper pumpkin, you can cancel your subscription at any time. You can stop and start it. If you know that one's coming out that you really like, then you can order that and just have that one. You can also get refills for most of the paper pumpkin kits, which is really nice too. Okay, now we're going to use these two little butterflies, so I'm going to turn them over, and I'm going to use some dimensionals on them too. And I just wanted to show you real quick, once you've used up the Stampin' Dimensionals in your pack, you can trim these little ones on the edge, and you can use those too so that they don't go to waste. And I'm just going to put one in the center of each of those little butterflies. I try really hard not to waste craft supplies. And I'm going to put one little butterfly here. And one little butterfly down by the bottom. I'm actually going to overlap mine a little bit. And then I'm going to grab those pretty little sequins, and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. If you don't have a Take Your Pick tool, you can peel these right off of here. But I like to use my tool because I find it gives me a better, I have a better chance of placing them where I want them to go. I'm going to put one here by the hole. And I'm going to put one here. And you can use as many or as few of these as you want, or you can not use them at all. And I'm going to put one up here. And I think maybe a couple down by this corner. Put one off here. And another one right here. And I find that I generally, when I'm adding something like sequins or gems, I've lost the lid to my Take Your Pick tool. I'm not sure where I put it, and it's clear, so it's really hard to see on this table. Anyway, hopefully I'll find that soon. Okay, even if I don't, it'll all work out. So here's my card for today. as I was saying about the sequins, I tend to put them in on my cards in odd numbers instead of even. I'm not really sure why. That just happens to be a thing. So here's our card for today. This is from the Paper Pumpkin Kit from August. So if you order Paper Pumpkin by the 10th of the month, it usually ships on the 11th. And so I get mine usually about a week after that. Thank you for joining me this morning for coffee and a card. I will be back with you again soon. I'm going to clean up my mess here, and I'll hope to see you the next Stampin' Sunday. Thanks for joining me today. Have a great week.